Smoke was in good position to throw and good position to try to block out the first base umpire. Oh, strike three call right there. And Kiermaier with a parting word. And that's going to get Kevin Cash out. And Charlie Montoyo started to come down immediately because he knew Kiermaier was hot with that call third strike. John Gibbons heads to the mound with Evan Longoria due up. Here's another look at that pitch. It's a little low from here. Good enough for a strike, and somebody's just been ejected from the Rays dugout. Here comes Kevin Cash out.
Pete just got run.
I think he got run because they warned him. They warned both benches. Man, this is the hottest I think we've ever seen Pete McCann. What were we just mentioning the other day? There's just never any arguing anymore.
I think he went out to ask, and apparently he didn't get the answer he wanted.
I don't think he did.
See, that's a ball that he wants to put in play. Here's some of the comparative stats all of last year in a small sampling size 2017. Scoring 3 runs or less, the Rockies already have 4 victories, just 10 all of last year. With the 3.4 runs, it'll be over 5.
There's some John going on now.
And Buddy just got tossed out by Mike Everett.
Scott Service said his piece, got his money's worth. First base umpire C.B. Buckner on that dribbling ground ball to first. It was going and going, and then it got a little bit more heated, and you could see it was going to boiling point. Out of here. First ejection for Scott this season, and he is done for the day. So Tim Bogar, the bench coach, will take care. Let's take a look at what happened. Martin was at the plate, and it did not hit Martin, although he reacted like it did. So down to first, here's Napoli making a play, goes over the bag. He goes to the bag. He doesn't hear anything, doesn't see anything, doesn't hear anything from CB, doesn't see anything from Mark Carlson, touches up. So he's got a beef. Jeff Banner started walking his way out. Now CB Buckner consulting with,
with Napoli.
Convinced him to make the call.
It did.
Game the Rangers won 8-1. This one pounded in the dirt down the third baseline. Slow hop for Gallo, and his good throw, and plenty of time to get Davis for out number 1.
See what Martin Perez did last time against the Oakland A's. 5 1/3, 6 hits. Did a really good job with the swings and misses and the strikeouts, and now looks like we might see this called back as a foul ball. Now anything in front of the base, as we talked about, is not reviewable. Jeff Bannister not too thrilled about this call right now. It was close watching it live, but I didn't hear anybody say anything. We'll take a look here at the replay where Joey Gallo is, and so that's a judgment call as far as what they see over the bag, and Jeff Bannister is going to call it a day here in the 3rd inning. He is completely dissatisfied with that call. And I think he's got a fair argument.
It's interesting because I was looking at third base umpire Mike Everett signaling fair. I mean, he made a very decisive point fair, but it's really not his call. It's Welke's call. A ball in front of the bag. Welke, the plate umpire, who was also subsequently now throwing Jeff Bannister. That didn't take Banny long either. He was hot.
He'll try it again on 3 and 2. And that is strike 3. And Souza not happy. Kevin Cash is going to come out. Cash said, hey, don't be too hasty. How about checking with the guy at first? And Cash, if he had a collar, he'd be hot under it. So Souza Jr. out on strikes.
Now Vanover, you're going to see he calls it on the swing, and that's what Kevin Cash is saying. Ask for help. because it certainly didn't look like in real time that Souza Jr. went around on that, but that's what he got called on. You'll see Larry Vanover point at the bat.
Could still be Breslow. We'll find out. The 1-2 check swing he went. Castro strikes out. Some words with Alan Porter. And here comes Paul Molitor. Jacket on, and Paul Molitor's been tossed by Alan Porter. Paul is asking that Alan Porter get some help from Andy Fletcher, but Alan Porter said he had that the entire time, and this was just a matter of time. The Twins had been unhappy with the strike zone all day, and this was kind of the breaking point. Paul Molitor ejected here by Alan Porter.
Right now, Butterfield's getting into it right now with the third base umpire.
Yep, up against Alan Porter there. The other umpires are coming over to aid him as John Farrell comes out. Looks like Brian has been tossed out of the game.
It may have been a discussion about that play at second base.
I think Brian Butterfield upset about the spiking of Dustin Pedroia by Machado.
You know, to me, you know, if a guy comes out in the middle of innings and he's having words with an umpire, let it pass. Just, you know, let's have the chat, and that's okay. But to throw somebody out between innings, to me, is weak.
Brian Butterfield sticking up for his second baseman. John Farrell has been angry at the result of that call, too.
So it looks like we're going to have a switch in coaches. Amaro will probably go to third base to coach as he's moving over there now. Or is he? Well, looks like he's going back to first, and DeSarcina is going to go to third.
Of course, the coaches have to wear those helmets going back several years for protection.
Smart move.
Here's Miguel Sano. Oh, what happened there? He threw it behind Sano. Now Sano is pointing toward Boyd. And look out, McCann and Sano now. Sano threw a punch. He threw a right at McCann.
Yes, he did.
And that's going to get him ejected from this game. Here come the bullpens.
And he gets drilled. We knew eventually that was coming.
That ball hit the bat. Did it not?
He's walking up the line. That's what John Farrell wants to know. As this all goes back to the spiking of Dustin Pedroia. John Farrell chatting here with Fletcher. And Machado walking up the first base line to take the base.
That sounded like the ball hit the bat. But what did I tell you between innings, Dave?
Hey. And the big man throws a punch at McCann. Here come the benches. And McCann and home plate umpire Jordan Baker tried to get between Boyd and Sano.
So I believe Sano is going to be ejected from the game. And the umpires are going to huddle up right now and kind of sort this out.
He just went off immediately. He started pointing his finger.
Well, anytime the ball is thrown behind you, you feel like there's intent.
And McCann is saying, all right, let's do it. He went right back after Sano. Not sure I'd want to tangle with Sano, but McCann's a big boy as well.
I think they've ejected Boyd. Yeah, I think they were going to. Yeah, they did. I thought the umpires handled it the right way. Boyd had to go, but that was a purpose pitch, no doubt about it.
Shift is on now with 2 strikes, and the 3-2 pitch struck him out. He may get tossed. Now he is tossed.
Carpenter thrown out of this game. Mike Matheny thrown out of this game.
All right, Mike and Tony, thanks very much. As in between innings here, Andy Green was tossed from this game, arguing balls and strikes, it appeared. Got a little tired of watching the strike zone of Paul Emmel for most of the day, and frustration kind of boiled over, and he is ejected from this game. So a very questionable.
3-1 to Calhoun, 2 away.
Wait a minute. There's nobody on base. He quick pitched him there, 3-1. And the Blue Jays are saying, what happened?
Well, and Russell Martin's talking with Ramon De Jesus,
What's
the
going
umpire,
on?
and he's saying, wait a minute, now how can you do that? Now Stroman comes down from the mound, and John Gibbons, the manager, out to support his battery here.
Please don't tell me he called that ball 4, because that was right down the middle.
It was right down the middle, but I think he called Stroman. Yeah, they're going to ask Alfonso Marquez to come down here and have an umpire conference here.
Meanwhile, Cole Calhoun's at first base.
Yeah, I don't know why he would send him to first base.
Watch it one more time.
Calhoun's just set in the box.
No one's calling time.
Now, the umpire called time with his hands. That indicates time for me.
Yeah,
And
after the
said,
pitch.
wait a minute. Yeah, that was after the fact. The pitch was already on its way to home when he threw up his hands as if to say time. Watch the umpire.
You can hear him yell something. I'm not sure what he said.
He said something. That's whether it was quick pitch or whatever, but it doesn't make any difference. Stroman's been altering his delivery all afternoon.
And there's no one on base. You can do that.
Yeah. So Alfonso Marquez is the crew chief, and he is going to sort things out here, and now he's going to explain it to John Gibbons, and John's, I don't know what kind of explanation John would accept.
I would like to hear this one, and I think Marcus Stroman should get in on this conversation too, so the umpires can explain it to him.
There's no reason that should have been. If it's time, it's not a pitch, right?
Correct.
So it's another 3-1 pitch. So if you call time, at least it's going to be a 3-1 count on Calhoun. There is no way in the world he should be awarded first base.
Time was not called.
And now Gibbons has been ejected.
I just think he made a mistake, the umpire, and they're just making something up here that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there is no reason in the world that Cole Calhoun should be at first base. If, in fact, the umpire called time, it's no pitch. So then it would be another 3-1 pitch to Calhoun. I don't understand how he can be awarded first base.
Well, now he's going to Marcus, and he's explaining his side of the story to Marcus Stroman. And Marcus has something to say to him.
Well, and Russell's got to help Marcus gather his composure. But even if Cole Calhoun called time, that means there's no pitch. Watch the umpire's hand. He throws up his hands at the end as if to say time. Well, if time indeed was granted, then there's no pitch.
Yeah.
So how does he get to first?
I don't know. I've never seen that. That doesn't make any sense. Somebody explain that to me, please.
Rothschild just got thrown out of the game. Had a few words for the home plate umpire, Scott Barry.
You know what? I had a feeling somebody was going to go. And here comes Joe Girardi. And you know what? Joe might be going too. You can't argue balls and strikes. He's getting a little heated. Finger pointing started. Did he just throw him out?
I think that's his throw out wave right there. It's not much. If Girardi's going to get his money's worth, here we go. Just don't bump him.
And bumping means suspension. Well, Rothschild's gone. Pitching coach, now the manager follows. Here comes Rothschild. Yep, he's gone. And here goes Joe Girardi. Ejection number 2. Meanwhile, home plate gets covered up. Right out of the Billy Martin playbook.
Bogaerts will lead it off. Bogaerts has had a big series. The 4 for 8, couple of runs scored. Moreland and then Young will follow. .333 batting average for the Red Sox shortstop. Gausman's delivery to him, and he didn't mean to do that. Oh, he threw him out of the game.
You gotta be kidding me.
He threw him out of the game.
Oh, you're.
Now remember, there were no warnings given, so this is a decision by the home plate umpire that the pitcher threw at him intentionally. There were no warnings given.
On a slider, a 77-mile-per-hour slider that backs up on a cold night. Sam, get it right, Sam. Come on. It's too late, though. You can beg and you do whatever, but this is all about what happened last night and what happened in Baltimore. I mean, Caleb Joseph knows he wasn't trying to hit him with a backup slider.
No, I mean, we always try and be fair about these things. Obviously, with a slant, a little, but there is no way Kevin Gausman wanted to hit him.
Well, now you know, and again, not Sam Holbrook's been around a long time. But there are umpires and there are people in the baseball world, maybe never pitched, but they think sometimes the way you get around throwing at guys is to actually throw a breaking ball. But please, you know, we had Sale throwing 97, Barnes throwing 96, Rodriguez trying to hit him, Bundy plunked the bets. At the end of the day, it's a cold night. This is the first breaking ball he throws, and watch, I mean, it just backs up and he throws them out. That's a knee-jerk reaction, and again, it really hurts the Orioles. That's the bottom line here. You got your starter, now somebody's going to have to pitch. Bogart says, you know what, I could have got hit at 98. I'll take it. It's a slider, and you could see Kevin trying to plead his case, but he's gone.
We just cannot get this series back to baseball.
No. Well, but that's accidental. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind.
Oh yeah, I agree. Completely agree.
Yeah. So why didn't Sale get thrown out last night? I'm sure Manny's saying.
Yep.
Yeah. So you know that. And once it gets done, and there's Gibson talking to the Manny.
Obviously, there's nothing that the umpire can do about the Sale situation.
Well, he could have thrown him out because it was pretty obvious.
Yeah. And he will, I think he will get suspended based on what Joe Torre said today. Sale, there he is, will probably pick up a suspension, although none was announced today. Well, Joe Torre said it looked like it was intentional regarding the hit of Machado, the pitch by Sale to Machado. When he throws the ball behind somebody, unless it's a rainy day, I don't see that being by mistake. That was Joe Torre commenting today. Well, this is just a disaster.
Well, I don't think they can change their mind.
No.
But at the end of the day, Gausman's got to be really disappointed. And they could cheer. I mean, this obviously, these are Red Sox fans. They have every right to think that he threw at him, but he didn't. And he's going, you know, but they never played the game. It's not the way you hit somebody.
So the Orioles are going to have to go to the bullpen for virtually the entire game, for at least 8 innings.
Well, didn't you do that interview with Richard Blyer? I wonder if he'll be the long guy.
And he's the long and middle and short left-hander out of the bullpen, and there he is. So Blyer is going to warm up a bit, and then he'll come on. Now Buck has not been thrown out because there was no warning to the clubs. The manager isn't automatically thrown out if you have a hit batter like that. Had there been warnings given and the umpire rules a pitcher hit a batter intentionally, then both are gone.
But at the end of the day, if you're Sam Holbrook, you still, and I know it's a spur of the moment decision, you have to make a decision. If you understand the game, and umpires, you know, I mean, that's what you do for a living. It was a backup slider. It's the first one he threw.
Jim, I mean,
and he hit him in the hip. It wasn't around the head. I
couldn't agree more.
You know,
it's
it's
a bad call.
Yeah.
And I think an unnecessary one. but this thing just goes on and on and on. So Buck will talk with Blyer here as he comes out of the bullpen. This is going to be his first appearance for the Orioles since being called up. That's Chris Sale, of course, awaiting word on whether he's going to be suspended. So Blyer, the left-hander, talk with Caleb. He'll take his warm-up tosses, and we're only in the second inning. Runners off first and second. The 1-0 delivery, a pickoff. Right, it goes into the outfield. Didn't see it though, and backed up by Adam Jones, who had to run a country mile to get to it. And a balk, I think, has been called. And there are going to be two in scoring position here in a minute.
Wow. And I don't think you can challenge this.
Nope. Balk called by the home plate umpire.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to go ask the other umpires. And
he's out. Buck Showalter's been heated.
Well, you got a rookie umpire that I think blew the call. Now, I will tell you this, it wouldn't have mattered, but if O'Day makes a good throw, this game's over, except they would have ruled that he balked. And your crew chief, I think it's Jim Reynolds, he's got to come in here, and Buck's got to ask him, hey, did he balk?
There's no asking here. It's done. Jim Reynolds is the crew chief in the middle there. Well, here's the throw.
I mean, this is a great call by the Orioles. So right here, yeah, I guess they assume, but see, that's the way he starts his windup.
He made a move to the plate, though.
Yeah, well, I'm saying he drops his shoulder, yeah, and they judged it. So either way you look at it, good throw, he tags him, yeah.
So now there are runners at second and third.
Ryan Braun was none too pleased with that called third strike. When Wolcott, the home plate umpire, ringing him up, and Ryan's night is done. As Braun disagreed and flipped the bat. Let's check it out. Here's the conversation after the called third strike.
Well, he must have said something after that because.
Batting in the 8th, bases loaded, 1 out. And the 2-2. He got him. Strike 3 called. On a breaking ball, and Healy can't believe it. Screaming with Mike Malinsky, and now turns back towards the dugout. And Healy is still upset. Now he's been tossed. He's back inside the dugout, and Mike Malinsky gave Healy a long time to think about it. He walked back and still was upset.
Her body's gold like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try forgetting, I remember. But we say we all fine, we all fine.